Hey, welcome to my channel. I gotta have to congratulate Lewis Hamilton. Congratulations to him. It's been I don't know how long since he's actually been in first place. That since he won was on the first place on the podium itself. Well, not on the podium, but as far as like being the winner. Congratulations to him. Um, he made the right move. Mercedes made the right move. I was like a little concerned, not worried, but more so to the point of like the fact that Russell was pretty much had to retire the car because of water coolant issues or whatever it may be. I'm like, all right, if that's the case with him, it's possible it's going to happen with Hamilton. Or whatever it may be. There's probably going to be some mechanical issue with the car, I figure, or something like that. But the fact that he was able to do, to last that long, and quite honestly, too, on soft tires, when he made the change for soft tires, the fact that he was able to essentially last for a little bit longer than normal was pretty impressive in and of itself. Quite honestly, because let's look at it from this way. After Lando decided to um, do his last um, change of tire change, uh, he probably should have been on mediums. Let's be honest, he should have been on mediums. But the problem was mediums went to Piastri, Oscar Piastri. In reality, is it should have gone to Lando. The fact that Lando had soft, it was going to be a while for him to last that long against Max. So from Norris's perspective, he's probably like looking with the engineers like, why didn't we go with the medium tires? Why didn't we go with medium? I mean, Lando did make a sense of like, let's go with soft to go after Hamilton, but not thinking about the fact that he could have used the mediums to hold off Verstappen because he was maybe a second to 2 seconds behind from Hamilton. If he pushed, maybe he could have gotten past Hamilton, but looks like it was highly unlikely. And let's be honest, like Verstappen, it's pretty impressive what he did too. I mean, the fact that he came into finished second was pretty impressive in and of itself. But from perspective of like outside of the fact that Hamilton was able to undercut um, Norris, and the other factor is let's be honest, like when Norris went in for the change, it was a couple more seconds no longer than usual. If those extra 2 seconds didn't happen, like compared to all the other changes that was made, it was like under 3 seconds, and this one, last one, was 4 seconds. If that wasn't the case, he probably still could have uh, gone ahead of Hamilton at that point, or yeah, basically came out ahead of Hamilton still. Um, so unfortunately, it kind of sucks for him, but he did finish third at least. He's on the podium. Piastri kind of sucks for him. I mean, honestly, should have done really well. He was doing really well. I mean, the fact is like the way it was is when Norris went in for to enters, they should have put Piastri like they should have stacked him at that point, just like they did with Hamilton and with Russell. They should have stacked Piastri because the fact that they had Piastri go out one more extra, it didn't help him in the long term because look what happened. He was like 26 seconds behind as a result. Signs, I mean, he got the fastest lap. It kind of sucks. Ferrari did make a mistake, massive, massive mistake. Leclerc also, of course, quite honestly, because going with the inters in the beginning, turned out to be the wrong decision, the wrong stratagem. Whereas Sainz made the right strategy, and he was in it for quite a while. And it's really surprising how good the McLaren cars were. Let's put it this way: the McLaren engines, the fact that they were both able to pass both Hamilton and Russell in the beginning by lap 20 showed that like McLaren has come a very long way. Basically, they have come a long way. The fact that they could outdo and outperform Mercedes is pretty impressive. Now, the fact that McLaren now is on par with Red Bull shows that Mercedes has a long way to go. And Magnussen, I mean, quite honestly, hey, you did really well too. The fact that like Haas is able to finish, I think the second week in a row at number six, Haas is doing really well, which goes to show was Gunther Steiner the right team principal? Because quite honestly, it seems like because of what was that Drive to Survive, his popularity was shut up as a result of that. But in reality, is looking at it from a perspective of between Steiner and this guy right now. I forgot the Japanese guy's name. He was a mechanic. He came from the mechanic backgrounds. He understood the cars, and I think he's setting Haas to basically finish in the top in the middle of the pack again, like when they should have at that point. But again, this was a great race, actually. Quite honestly, I mean, the fact that the rains played a factor as well too. But that's what Formula One is all about, and that's the great part about it, is it's not only how fast your car is, but it's also the strategy that you have to employ during these races, like tire management, as well as weather accumulation, as well as track. So they all played a big factor, and you're seeing it right now. So let's see. Now everyone's going to think it's like, oh, Hamilton winning this. Like, let's see what happens. But in reality, it's not gonna affect the next couple of races because, quite honestly, it's going to be between McLaren, Red Bull, and most likely Ferrari. It's just a matter of how Ferrari manages because, like, we're seeing it now. Ferrari has the engine. It's just they don't have the strategy properly in place, and I think that's one of the things where they have to like start working with. I hate to say is maybe they start using AI. Quite honestly, they might have to use AI at this point because it's more of a case of like a lot of this human strategy that they're putting into place is human error. So try AI. I mean, honestly, I would not be surprised. Not more surprised, but one of the teams should utilize AI for one of them for when it comes to strategy, tire management. Well, not tire management, but as far as tire usage or tire strategies and when to pit and when not to pit. They should use AI. I mean, I know they're using a little bit of machine learning and using the aspects of what it should be done, but then they also take a feel. The human aspect of it also as well comes into play at that point as well too. So I think they should have one driver with the the principles and such, but then one driver maybe just having AI manage it and see what that goes into. I'm kind of curious to see how that would work out, quite honestly, especially the way things are going right now. But in any case, um, again, Hamilton winning is impressive, and it's a case where like he's now got 103 races, 103 wins. Max, I hate to say this, but it's if Red Bull can stay competitive for the next 3 to 4 years with their engine, I think Max should be able to break that very quickly. Those 103 wins. The question is like, can Max break? When can Max break the total championships, number of championships, getting 8 championships versus 7? Now, granted, it's looking like Max is definitely going to get the championship again this year because the fact that he finished second. If everything was going the way it was by lap 20, he would have finished fifth. He probably wouldn't have gotten as much points, and then concern should have been there because like if Norris had won the race, it might have made it much more closer. But now the fact that Hamilton won and Verstappen, Max finishing second, Max has definitely almost got a lock. Has it almost locked in? Almost. I think the next 2 races, if he can finish either one or two, for the next 2 races, I think then Max has it locked in at that point. Um, the one thing though is looking at Red Bull. You see what Perez is doing, what Perez has been doing, and the fact that he's been signed off now for the rest a couple of next years. It might have been a mistake for Red Bull to do that because Checo, as good as he is, I'd say is, but like he's not living up to his end of the bargain. Basically, I mean, it's more so to the point of like look where he was at in the race itself. I mean, honestly, if I'm Red Bull, I would have gone after Signs with Verstappen. Probably there would have been the one-two punch that they needed at that point, and unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts in the in the comment section. I do read my comments and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. But with that, I'll leave it at that. If you like my channel, like my content, like my videos, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You're welcome to hit the like button or not. It's up to you. Um, yeah, most of my videos, if you've seen them, specifically on my channels, I don't come in with prepared statements or such unless it's tech related. No bullet points. I just off the top of my head, basically. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time.